Also, I'm going to put some glue on the bottom of here. So once I put it in, it will keep a strong hold. The thing I'm going to be using is foam hold. It's the best because this is foam and this can easily slip right out. So I'll put some glue here and also in between, and then when I am finished, just for security, I will put some hot glue along the edges here, not through the holes. You're going to be needing those. Whew, okay, so finally finished every single one of these. Glue on the inside, glue on the rims, and that is hot glue. And inside again is this sucker, specifically for foam. You can try and use regular glue, I don't know, I'm just being cautious, so I used foam glue. So finally, all these little guys are now glued. That was a little bit longer. Then my next challenge will be taking these guys, and I will be gluing using this glue in the inside and put them through. Now when you put these through for the smaller ones, that is if you want to do them all small, it's okay if it sticks out. We're going to actually be shaving a little bit, so then when it moves it actually has some room. Okay, so now that I put all the noodles in every one of those things, the next thing to do is take the big giant noodles. Almost like the same thing that we'll be doing is adding the straws through the noodles here instead of on the foam. However, we're going to be using a sharp object, in this case a pencil. You can also use some kind of tool and mark those holes and poke it right through. You should have the same kind of holes looking like that. Usually I would go over it a second time, making sure you got it. Make 2 more holes. There you go, your first holes. Then you're gonna take another straw. Slip it through the holes you created. Once you get it in, you're going to cut it off. And the other holes. Okay, so I now have all of these guys. They have a top hole and 2 sides. These things will actually are the ones that are going to mechanically pull things from left to right. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is the ones who have a little bit of extra way there. I'm going to shave it sideways a little bit so it can give that nice smooth flow. As soon as I can, there it is. And it's the same sides that the straw is on too. So if you cut that in sideways, that's okay. This doesn't need to be perfect, but as long as it still has that nice slant for the extra spacing. Also, I did not need to glue these guys in because once I put them in, it's really tight, so it doesn't really need to be glued in. Okay. Now that the ones that have been extended have gotten that nice curve as good as I can, and what I'm going to do is from each division I will make just a little bit smaller so it can transition to the other one. The very last ones I will make a little bit smaller to give that end tip, so they might come out to just about here. Next one's going to go there and there. So as you can see here, it is now fully cut, and it is looking more and more like a tail. For the end, to getting a little comfort, I'm going to take actually one of the circles that used to be in the center here, shape it up a little bit so it can become the very end. Alright, now this is not so much tricky, but this is where a lot of things are going to come in. This is going to be the center wire that's going to hold everything together in all. And what I'm going to do is actually, because this is a wire in the center and plastic in the end, if I hot glue it, it's just going to slip right through. So I'm going to try and figure out a way how to keep this from coming out. I think I'll use super glue. Good for anything. Not duct tape. Solves everything. Gonna make sure not to disturb this while this is drying. I put the super glue on both ends. Hopefully that is going to work. This is like a kid's game. Nonsense. Bad. Okay, so now for all 3 holes that's running out through the whole thing, what I'm gonna do is use this string. I do have a few others, like twine, but you find your strongest one and use it. I'm gonna do this one. What I'm doing here is finding all the middle holes and connecting them. You want to make sure you have the right one. And I'll do that for the left side and right side. Alright, so now for the end, what I am going to do is again try to connect this string to there, so this is where it will stop.
You can see here that I am now testing out the movement after everything has been completed together. So far it's successful. Left and right movement works, and hopefully will work in the end.
Now for the back piece to that, to making sure it's strapped onto my back, I'm going to take an old book bag. We're going to actually cut all this off, and what we need is the straps and this backing, and that's where actually my butt's going to be cushioned. We're going to need this length because you need that height past your hips.
Gimme. You're on everything. You're on everything.
Well, as you can see, the ending result was successful in the matter. It doesn't sway as much because of the heaviness, but all in all, I hope everyone enjoyed this tutorial and hope that your tale is successful. Thanks for watching. Just Peachy, just cosplay.